Hi guys, in this video we're going to run through Sidekick, and just like in all the previous ones, we're going to start at a white belt level and slowly build up, going from each different rank just to add more to it. Okay, the first thing which is mainly different with the Sidekick compared to your front kick and turning kick is the striking area. So for Sidekick we're going to use the heel. Okay, so it's still very important you pull your toes back. You want to make sure you're striking with the heel, leading your kick with the heel, and that's going to be your striking area coming through. Okay, the next most important point of this kick is what your knee's doing. Okay, in front kick and turning kick, your knee stays stationary, okay, and your foot extended and move. In a side kick, your knee is going to move and push your leg forward through the kick. Okay, so from here, I'm pushing with my knee. So the easiest way to practice that to start with at a white belt level is to just stop the ground. So you can stand on one leg, pull your toes back, so I'm leading with my heel, and from there, with my knee, stomping down. Okay, so again, from here, knee and stomping towards the ground. Okay, from here to practice this and just to start the kick off, what I want you to do is stand sideways. With my rear foot, I'm going to turn it the opposite direction to where I'm striking. Okay, and so the key here is that my body's sideways, hence the name Sidekick. Okay, so I've got my body completely sideways with my forward leg. I'm just going to lift it up nice and high, and from there, I'm just going to strike it out in front. So aiming towards my partner's knee at the moment. Okay, retract my knee, strike. Okay, so I can go up, strike, and back. And from there, you can just slowly work your kick higher and higher. So you're practicing the stomping motion with your leg while leading with your heel. Okay, if you're struggling with balance, you can use a chair to help out. Okay, so again, just grab on, turn your supporting leg in the opposite direction, lift your knee up, nice and high, pull those toes back, and from there, practice that stomping motion at whatever height is appropriate for your flexibility. So same thing from here, and knee up and striking down. Okay, so we're practicing a stomping motion. Okay, so the next important part of the kick is pivoting. Okay, so if we're going to be kicking with our rear leg here, okay, we need to focus on getting our body sideways to line up like we were before to perform this kick. And to do that, it's all about pivoting the supporting leg. So to break this down, what I like to do when I start is I turn my foot slightly to the side, and as I do that, I bring my hand in front. Okay, so I'm turning my foot slightly to the side, bring my hand in front. From here, I bring my knee up with it, so my body's following the same line through. From there, the rest of the pivot comes in, so if you watch my supporting leg, I'm going to pivot all the way over and get to my low position. Okay, and this is the important part of this kick. So from here, slight turn out, bring my hands through, bring my knee up, and then I pivot. When I pivot, I said focus on your supporting leg, facing the opposite place where you're trying to kick. I've got my knee up nice and high, so that my knee and my heel are facing towards my target. Now you can also notice I am got my leg parallel to the ground. So I don't want to be like this, and then when I kick, my leg's going to scoop out in this upwards motion. Okay, as I pivot through, I get my knee flat to the ground, so my heel is at my target, my knee's behind my heel. Then when I extend and I stomp, it goes straight out. So when it's all done properly in one motion, striking and back down. And again, strike and back down. So just to slow it down on this side, I turn my foot, bring my hands through, lift my knee up, pivot, strike. Hey guys, now we're going to take things up a level and start working on some yellow belt drills for your side kick. Just like you've done in the previous videos with Jason, we're going to start off with our forward leg kick. Okay, so when we're in our sparring stance, from here, we want to do a forward leg side kick. It's all about dropping your heel down and lifting that knee up nice and fast, and then pivoting your body at the same time. Now, you don't want to come to this position and then pivot afterwards. It's just too slow. It's going to be a big telegraph to your opponents. So from here, what I want to practice doing is dropping my heel. I'll stand this way for you. I want to drop my heel and pivot at the same time. So it's kind of dropping in and around. I'm getting my body sideways, that supporting leg facing backwards again. At the same time doing that, my knee pops up. Okay, knee up, turn and pivot. Again, just like before, leg up nice and high. Okay, and then forward leg side kick. Okay, so shift and kick. From in front. Okay, drop down, lift, strike and back. Okay, to add on to a combination, so what we're going to do is forward leg side kick followed by rear leg side kick. When you're doing this, it's all about foot placement to help the combination flow. So from here, I've got my forward leg side kick like before. I want to control my knee. Okay, you don't ever want to go kick and drop because you're going to ruin the rest of the combination. Always want to control, always have to pull back. So I lift up, side kick, control. Place off to the side so my rear leg has a nice position to come through. Notice when I put it on the ground, it turns straight away, just like we're practicing the white belt stuff. Then I come round, pivot, strike, and then back down. Okay, so again, from here, side kick forward leg, step down, side kick rear leg, and back through. Forward leg, rear leg. Yeah, facing sideways, forward leg, step round, rear leg. The next progression from that is doing a back kick. Now I'm not going to go into lots of details on the back kick, but the simple thing to remember with it is it's just a spin and then a side kick. Okay, so my back kick off my rear leg, it's just spin and spot your target, and then side kick. Okay, spin through, side kick. The key is get your head round, look at your target before you lift your leg off the ground. So to put all this in a nice little combination, what we're going to do is forward leg side kick, rear leg side kick, and then back kick. So again, forward leg side kick, rear leg side kick, and then back kick. The key here is foot positioning. So again, forward leg, step down the side so my rear leg comes straight through. Kick, put it slightly off to the side. So I can just spin straight through. My legs don't get twisted, and you can throw your kick. So from the side, shot. Hey guys, the next thing we're going to work on is our double kicks. As I started to touch on in an earlier part of this video, it's very, very important here you focus on your knee control and pulling your kicks back. Okay, if you just kick out and you drop your legs, essentially if you go kick and drop, double kicks become impossible to do. Okay, so you really want to be practicing here that retraction of your knee, that control. So with our kicking leg behind, what we're going to start off with is our side kick to the knee, retract, side kick to the chest. Okay, so going to the person's knee and then going to the person's chest. So with the side kick to the knee, the thing to really remember here, the kick doesn't change apart from where you're aiming at. So the first part of the kick, the load position, is exactly the same. My knee still comes up, my leg still comes up, nice and high, just like we've been practicing in the previous parts. The only difference is now, rather than my foot facing straight forward, I'm going to tilt it down slightly, it's aiming at my target's knee. So from here, striking down and then pulling back to the same spot. Okay, where the kick starts is where it needs to finish. So from here, down and back. If we do it sideways, and here up nice and high, striking down and then retracting. Okay, down and back up. It's a nice high knee position. Once you got that, you're then adding on the second kick like we've been practicing all this time. Okay, so from here, pivoting through, side kick to the knee, retract, side kick to the chest, and then back down. Again, come through, to the knee, retract, and then up towards the chest. I'm using the chest here, but if you want, you can still aim towards the midsection. As you're getting better, you can then start to work on some speed. Okay, it makes it, double kicks are a lot easier when you retract your leg faster. Okay, so I've been demonstrating nice and slow so you guys can watch the technique. Okay, but this really does work the balance out a little bit more. Okay, so just practice nice and fast. Knee up, 1 and 2, and then back down. Focusing on that retraction of the knee. For those with a bit more flexibility, you can aim up higher. If you struggle with the flexibility, you can just lean back further and counterbalance. So from here, I still start my knee up high. Difference is I just got to start pushing my heel towards my target. I lean backwards, strike up, and then back down. So coming through, up and down, and through. And again, so if you want to challenge yourself, double kicks, triple kicks, you can do the whole different sets of heights. So from here, knee, midsection, chest, or sorry, head, and back down. And coming back down. What we're going to be on next is step up side kick. So this time we're kicking off our forward leg. Okay, what I want to use here is this kick bridges my range, which I'll show you a little bit more towards the end of this video. But what I want to focus on is my rear leg is stepping up to my forward leg. So I'm stepping up, and then from there, it's just another forward leg side kick. Okay, if we do it sideways, my rear leg steps up, lift, and then kick. You notice as I'm doing this, my rear leg is pivoting straight away as I step up. Just cuts the steps down later on. So I can step up, foot's pivoted, striking, and then back down. And back down. And one more from in front. And through. The next variation of side kick is a step side kick. With this one, what we want to do is step behind and then strike. It's very similar to the step up. Okay, my foot still does the same thing. I just want to go behind my legs. So this one will bridge even more range. You notice as I do this, my foot is straight away facing backwards, so I can then strike through. So from here, step behind and strike. And back down. Yeah, so you got your two different variations to add your side kick. And so the really good thing here is you're getting lots of different ranges you can play with. Here's something you can now practice at home. Get yourself an object which is not going to hurt you or break it if you accidentally hit it. And what you can do is experiment a little bit. If we want to start with forward leg side kick, I want to be in here. Okay, so I'm nice and close to my target. So lift up, strike, and back down. And there's forward leg side kick. A rear leg side kick is a small step backwards. Okay, so I'm further away, and from there, kicking through. Okay, so now I'm further away because I'm using my rear leg. Step up side kick is another small step backwards. Okay, so now I'm slightly further away from my partner. We step up, strike, and back down. And then lastly, step side kick. You take a bigger step away again, you get more range, so I can take a bigger step through and then do my kick. Step side kick's a really good one to experiment and really change. You can start a little bit closer, do a small step, or you can start further away and take a really big step. So you've got different options you can play around with. Hey guys, we're going to start stepping up towards blue belt level where you have to break boards with your side kick. Now we're going to start talking about using power. And our side kick is one of the most powerful techniques you're going to have, so it's very, very important that you really practice this and get good at the technique. It is all about technique to generate power, which is what we've been practicing up to now. What we're going to start talking about though is a couple of variations you can do, so using more momentum to help give you that little bit of extra power behind your kicks. So what I'm talking about, I'm going to have to stand sideways so you can see this, is at the moment we're practicing side kick by pivoting on the spot and then striking. What you can do is pivot and shuffle forward. So just focus on my supporting leg here. As I kick, I'm taking a little shuffle forward with my kick, changing my range slightly, and I'm going to get more momentum behind it. So now my body is traveling. Okay, when I'm doing this, what I want to focus on is starting my upper body, really pushing forward as I turn my body, drive my hands forward, and as I bring my knee in front, I'm just pivoting through slightly and then throwing the kick. So if I use Jason to come in and hold the strike shield. So just to start off with, just to do the normal side kick like we started with, just so we have a bit of a comparison. Just directly from the spot, okay, striking through. Now my body is not moving, I'm just staying here and kicking. What I'm going to do this time is we're going to take a small shuffle backwards, not too far, just a little bit to give myself that bit of extra range. And now we're going to slide into it slightly. So from here, through, and kicking. Okay, so notice again, use your body, send it forward nice and fast, and then do a light, small shuffle as you're pivoting that leg. kicking through. One extra thing you can add on for those a little bit more advanced is to lean your body and your hips into it to again just lock your body out a little bit sharper. Okay, so try and do this nice and slowly. That's my normal kick. What I want to do is try and lean into it a bit more. So starting to get this supporting leg. You can see how my body is. And that's just going to help put more body weight behind it. So from here, okay, leaning into it. The key thing you'll notice is you start to lose control. It's very hard to pull that back properly, so you're going to be dropping your kick a little bit more, and that will leave you open to counter-attack if you don't hit your partner. Okay, so we go from here and kicking through. The last thing we're going to finish off with, just taking up another level, is variations of a Sidekick. Okay, so here's a few different things you can play with to help disguise a kick and trick your partner when you're doing free sparring. Okay, and this is all about changing the load position. So lower grades, don't start practicing these yet. Make sure you've really got down the basics first of your knee coming across your body correctly before you start playing with these ones. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is bring your leg up like a front kick. Okay, so rather than my knee coming across and pivoting at the start of the kick, I'm going to come up like a front kick. From here, I'm going to very quickly do the full pivot and throw the side kick. So your partner thinks you're throwing a front kick, but you then change into the side kick. Very, very deceptive, works very, very well. So from here, up, and then a side kick at the last second. And again, through. You stay sideways, see my knee comes up in front, and then at the last second, we pivot and throw the side kick. You notice here I'm doing a little skip. That's just to help get a nice fast pivot on the end of the kick. And through. The other variation is to disguise it like a turning kick. Okay, so this time the knee will come around a little bit more like a turning kick would. This is my turning kick. The side kick variation starts the same, but rather than kicking, my knee scoops in and then throws the side kick. So from here, come around like a turning kick, in, and then throws a side kick. And through. So there's a couple of different things you can try and play around with. Alright guys, so just a couple of final thoughts to finish this up. Sidekick is a very, very important kick, and it is one of my favorites overall. Okay, it's a mixture of the power and speed that it gets, and also how important it is in developing all the other kicks in our arsenal of weapons to use when you're trying to free spar someone. Okay, we already touched on one kick, and that was the back kick. You can't do back kick if you don't have a good side kick. Okay, there's lots and lots of other kicks as well. For instance, hook kick, spin hook kick, and then jump spin kicks. So everything uses that same basic Sidekick technique. It's very, very important. You get it right good, like really good when you're a white belt. You practice it over and over and over. You keep building up, practicing, and then start adding in the other kicks as you go through. So you gotta give it a go, guys. Practice, practice, practice.